Welcome to the deep dive. You've brought us some really interesting stuff this week, focusing on real estate investment strategies.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to dive into this article from Fazioli Publishing. It's called Flipping versus Renting. Which real estate strategy is right for you?
Exactly. And this piece, it really gets into the two main paths. Flipping properties, buying, fixing up, selling quick versus buying and holding, renting them out long term.
Right, the classic dilemma.
It's pretty fundamental for anyone looking at real estate for wealth building.
And what I liked is how it frames it for the listener, for you listening. It's not just saying this one's better.
No.
It asks which strategy actually fits your goals, your risk tolerance,
Mm.
even your personality, really.
Yeah, it makes you think about what you're actually after, doesn't it?
Totally.
And to make it concrete, the article does something pretty smart. It uses these two, well, hypothetical investors, Jake and Olivia.
Ah, the tale of two investors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right. So by following their stories, their wins and their struggles, you get a really practical feel for what each path is like, who it suits.
Okay, makes sense. Let's start with Jake then. Flipping. The article paints this as the fast lane, right? Quick profits.
Yeah. Jake's story is kind of the classic flip scenario. He finds this rundown bungalow, probably got it for a decent price because of the condition,
Uh-huh.
puts in the work, renovates it, makes it look good, and bam, sells it in, 3 months for a $50,000 profit?
50 grand in 3 months. Wow.
Yeah, the article really plays up that thrill, that immediate reward. It's definitely got that allure, that quick return.
Oh, absolutely. I can see the appeal. A big chunk of change, fast. But the article doesn't just leave it there, does it? It talks about the downsides Jake ran into. It wasn't all smooth sailing.
No, not at all. And this is where it gets, really instructive. The risks.
Okay.
One big one is the market. What if things dip while you're holding it? Suddenly you're stuck longer than planned, and those holding costs just chip away at your profit? Or worse.
All right, market timing. Tricky.
And then there are the unexpected costs. This is huge. Jake apparently hit a major foundation issue on one flip.
Oof. That sounds expensive.
Yeah, it nearly wiped out his entire profit on that deal. It just shows, your inspection, your due diligence, it's got to be thorough. You need a cushion for those nasty surprises.
That foundation example is pretty sobering. Hidden costs.
Yeah.
And the article also mentioned the workload for Jake, the constant hustle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not passive income, is it? What does that hustle actually look like day to day?
Well, it's a full-on business, really. You're always looking for the next deal, always sourcing properties. Then you're managing the renovation, the contractors, the budget, the timeline.
Right.
And then you got to market it, sell it. If you stop doing any of those things, the income stops. It's constant effort.
Okay, so definitely active. Based on all that, who does the article say flipping's really suited for?
Well, it seems to be for people who genuinely like the hands-on stuff, the renovation process itself, and people motivated by seeing those quick results, that faster money. And you need to be okay with risk, comfortable with market swings, and critically, you need cash. Available capital for the purchase and the rehab, that's key.
That capital hurdle is real. What other sort of key takeaways or warnings does the article give about flipping?
A few important ones. Your team, you absolutely need reliable people, contractors, agents, inspectors. Can't skimp there.
Makes sense.
It also warns about thin margins. You've got to estimate those rehab costs accurately. Get that wrong, and like Jake found out, your profit can just vanish.
Yeah, underestimating costs seems like a classic mistake.
Totally. And, taxes. Don't forget taxes. Short-term capital gains from flips usually get taxed higher than long-term investments. That bites into the net profit.
Good point. Got to factor that in. Okay,
Yeah.
so summing up flipping. Potential for big, quick wins, but it's very active, requires skill, timing, capital, and it's definitely not risk-free.
Exactly. High energy, high risk, potentially high reward. So that brings us to Olivia's path, the contrast.
Right, renting. The article calls it the slow, steady path to wealth. Olivia's start seems, well, different, maybe more accessible.
Yeah, it feels that way. She starts with a duplex, buys it with a low down payment, which is interesting.
Okay.
And here's the key part, the house hacking thing the article mentions. She lives in one unit
Uh-huh.
and rents out the other. And that rent she collects from the tenant, it covers most, maybe even all of her mortgage payment.
That's clever. So her tenant is basically paying down her mortgage while she lives there cheap. or free.
Pretty much. It's a great way to get started with less personal financial strain. You're leveraging the property right away.
Yeah, I can see how that lowers the barrier. And she didn't just stop with the duplex, right? It was a long-term play.
No, exactly. The idea was slow and steady. Over time, she gradually bought more rental properties. That's the wealth building engine.
Building a portfolio.
Right. Now, the article's clear she had challenges too. It wasn't zero effort. Unexpected repairs pop up. You get vacancies sometimes.
The joys of being a landlord.
Yeah, yeah. But the point is, through it all, there was this consistent flow of rental income coming in from the portfolio.
That consistency is the big draw, isn't it? That passive income dream, even if it takes time.
It is. And the article points out the two big benefits working together over time.
Okay.
One, the properties themselves hopefully appreciate in value. Long-term trend is usually up. And two, the tenants are paying down the mortgages.
So your equity grows from both sides, value goes up, debt goes down.
Exactly. It's that two-pronged wealth creation. And for Olivia, the article says the eventual outcome was pretty significant.
Financial freedom, right?
Yeah.
But that's
Eventually, the income from her rentals grew enough to cover all her living expenses. That's the goalpost for a lot of people using this strategy. Real financial independence.
That's powerful, living off your assets. So for Olivia's approach, who's the ideal fit, according to the article?
It suggests renting is better for people who are really focused on long-term wealth, not quick cash. People looking for that more passive income stream down the road.
Yeah.
And, you have to be willing to deal with tenants, the property management side, either doing it yourself or, importantly, hiring a good property manager if you don't want the hassle.
Right. Managing tenants isn't for everyone. What are the key things to keep in mind if you're considering rentals?
Well, first, patience. It's long-term. Think decades, maybe, not months or years.
Okay. Manage expectations.
Definitely. And yeah, the tenant management stuff, late rent, maintenance calls, finding new tenants when someone leaves. It's part of the deal.
Yep.
And critically, buying smart. You have to run the numbers carefully up front. Buying a property that doesn't cash flow positively from the start, that's just a liability, a money pit.
Due diligence again.
Correct.
Crucial. Okay, so the takeaway on rentals. Slow, steady wealth building, passive income potential requires patience, good management, and smart buying. Less immediate cash than flipping, but maybe more long-term security.
You got it. Tortoise versus the hare, like they say. Which brings us to the big question the article asks you, the listener.
Right. Making the choice.
Yeah.
Which path fits you best? The article has some questions to help figure that out, doesn't it?
It does. Really good self-reflection questions. Like, first up, do I want fast cash or long-term wealth? What's your primary driver?
Okay, goals first.
Then, risk. Am I okay with market swings, the ups and downs, or do I prefer something more predictable, even if it's slower?
Risk tolerance, yeah.
And finally, personality and preference. Do I like getting my hands dirty, the project management stuff, or would I rather let my money do more of the work?
Those really cut to the chase. Require some honest answers about your
Definitely. And the article hammers home. There's no single right way.
No magic formula?
Nope. The best path is just the one that actually aligns with your goals, your comfort with risk, your life. What worked for Jake might be terrible for Olivia and vice versa, and neither might be right for you.
Such an important point. It's personal. So, wrapping things up, thinking about choosing your road, what's the final guidance?
It basically reiterates both strategies work, but for different aims and different people. Flipping, great if you want quicker profits, love renovating, thrive on the deal making. Renting, better fit if you're aiming for that long-term passive income financial independence down the line.
And it also mentioned, didn't it, that it's not always strictly one or the other. Experienced folks might do both.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. You might start with one, build some capital or experience, and then branch into the other. Or do both strategically depending on the market or the specific deal.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a lifelong commitment to just one.
Diversification, maybe?
Could be. And the article's final push is really just get started.
Yeah, I like that ending.
Start. Because the sooner you take the first step, the sooner you'll be on the path to financial freedom. Just encourages you to overcome that inertia.
Good advice. So, okay, to recap for everyone listening, we've dug into flipping fast, potentially high profit, but active and risky, and renting slower, steadier, focused on long-term passive income and wealth building. Two very different approaches from that Fazioli publishing article.
And the key takeaway really is that the right choice isn't universal. It's deeply personal. It depends on your situation, your risk appetite, your goals, just like Jake and Olivia showed in their different journeys.
Absolutely. So thinking about what really clicks with you, is it that thrill of the quick win, the hands-on project? Or is it the steady build, that long-term security? Which road feels like your first step? Maybe going back to that article could help clarify things even more.